60 seconds in America, a woman is being sexually abused, assaulted, or attacked. During casting for Cycle 9 of Top Model, one of the girls revealed something her own mother didn't know until the show started. Take a look. Until the show aired. Take a look. I hear that you've been through a lot of stuff in your life.
Yeah.
Tell me about growing up and all the things that you went through and all the tragedy.
I went through a lot as a kid. I've been just passed off to family members a lot. So I was always having to adapt to new people, new places. A lot of people have done a lot of bad things to me.
Why don't you talk about that?
I was molested, raped.
So much has happened to you. What makes you strong enough to still stand here right now in front of us, so vulnerable?
God has definitely given me strength. He's helped me. There's been times when I've been like, Lord, what am I going to do? And next thing you know, it happens.
Joining us is Marvita. That feels like a long time ago, Marvita.
I know.
Wow.
I look different, thank God.
Yeah. No, I think you're beautiful then. That's why you're on Top Model. I saw beauty. But I want to talk about, there's a lot of things that happened to you. You were abused by a male relative at what age?
When I was 4 years old, my mom took me to one of my relatives' house.
So cute.
And he would have me sit on his lap, and he would try to make me do things or try to touch me, and it didn't feel right. It felt gross.
And it happened for how long?
It happened for a few years.
For a few years, and you never said anything?
I never said anything. I was scared, and he used to, like, he would just tell me, he'd be like, you better not tell. You tell, I'm gonna whoop you, or something.
And then, that was a male relative, but the abuse didn't stop with the male relative.
No, like every weekend in the same household, like another relative, she would come over.
She?
Yeah, she would come over and hold me down and do things to me and molest me. And she was only 5 years older than me. And I couldn't, like, fight her off because I was a little kid. And she was bigger than me, and she would always tell me if I told, then I would get in trouble. But I told on her anyway, and nothing happened. Nobody did anything about it.
You know, I'm glad that you're talking about it, that it's a female that did that to you, because we often hear about men doing it. We hear that all the time. And I think it's important for people to know that if a female does that to you, it is just as wrong.
It is.
It is just as wrong. So, abuse from a male relative, sexual abuse from a female relative. Then, at 8 years old, something happened in a park.
When I was 8 years old, some friends of one of my other relatives came over, and I was used to them always coming over. You know, they were older boys, and they came over the house one day, and I trusted them. They were like, yeah, let's go to the park. Come on, Marvita. It was 3 of them. And they took me there and they raped me.
All 3 of the boys raped you?
All 3 of them. They were like 12 and 13, 14.
And as this is happening, because this is insane to me, 8 years old, you know, 8 years old, little girls don't really even know what sex is.
No.
So what were you thinking as a little innocent 8-year-old when these dirty boys are on top of you and doing that to you? What's going through your head?
I couldn't think anything. The only thing that was going through my head was, this is happening to me, but it's gone further than it's ever gone. And I can't do anything about it.
So after that happens, these 3 boys rape you, and then you leave the park.
I left the park.
Where'd you go?
And I cried, and I cried, and I cried. I was scared to go home.
Were you in pain, physical pain, I'm sure?
Yeah.
How do you hide that from your mom?
She was in a different state, because she was in Alaska at the time, and I was in California, and I was so scared. And I went home, and I just took a shower, and I felt so dirty and so gross. I didn't know what to do. I just didn't feel like me.
Marvita's mother, Renee, is here. So I know that you have, your first reaction was anger when you found out, and when you found out that she didn't tell you.
I was very angry that she didn't tell me. I didn't know actually until the show what happened.
Until Top Model.
And when it came out, Top Model came out, and I was angry that she didn't come to me, but then again, I understand the fact that she was afraid, but as a mother, and she knows how I am, I would have caught a plane and probably made sure I pressed charges and probably did some bad damage.
And then it got really bad, and you didn't know, and it got even worse for your daughter in her life. This is before Top Model. At 16 years old, it got so bad. Your depression got so bad because of all this abuse. What did you try to do?
I tried to kill myself. I tried to kill myself several times, but that was the one time a lie.
Tell me about this time you said it was the worst when you're 16.
I went to school that day, and I was just like, I just want my life to end. I didn't even understand. I didn't want to be here anymore. I wanted my life to end, so I just took a whole bunch of pills, and I just drank, and I drank, and I drank, and I drank, and I went to school, and I just basically OD'd because I was out of it.
At school?
At school.
Did you pass out?
Yeah, I was out of it. If it wasn't for one of my friends from high school helping me and trying to revive me and picking me up in the bathroom, it was like, girl, come on, you got to wake up, I would have been dead.
You would have been dead. You would not be here now.
And I wouldn't
What
be.
made you share your story on Top Model?
The fact that there may be someone out there that this has happened to worse or in the same case as mine that I can help. And I just felt like, you know what? Somebody needs to know I'm not taking this anymore. This is where I'm supposed to be, and this is supposed to be my life.
Do you know that you're a different person now than you were when you tried out for Top Model, that even that first time you tried out? And I think a lot of it has to do with you airing what has happened to you, because now you're not a victim. Now you are empowered, and you're empowering other people, and there is a different Marvita that I see in front of me, and a Marvita that I'm super proud of. Thank you.